Welcome back to Play IQ Trivia. Think you're smart. You're about to answer 60 questions most people should know, but don't. No pausing, no Googling. Let's see how you do. Which country has the oldest continuously used national flag? The answer is Denmark. Denmark's flag, the Dannebrog, has been in continuous use since the 13th century. Which everyday item was initially invented for warfare? The correct answer is duct tape. Duct tape was created during World War II for the US military to seal and waterproof ammunition boxes. Soldiers later brought it home, and it became a common household item. Which planet is closest to the Sun on average? It's Mercury. Although Venus sometimes appears closer, Mercury has the smallest orbital radius and remains closest on average. Which animal never stops growing? Crocodiles grow throughout their lifespan, slowing with age but never fully stopping. What is the most commonly used letter in English? The answer is E. Letter frequency studies consistently show the letter E dominates English writing. What continent has the most countries? Africa has 54 recognized countries. Which ocean is the deepest? It's the Pacific. The Mariana Trench lies in the Pacific Ocean, making it the deepest. Which country has the longest coastline? Canada's irregular coastline gives it the longest total length. Size alone doesn't determine coastline length. Which continent has no deserts? It's Europe. What is the largest internal organ in the human body? The skin is largest overall, but internally, the liver takes the lead. What gives yogurt its tangy taste? Bacteria ferment lactose into lactic acid, which thickens the milk and creates the sour flavor. What part of the plant is broccoli? It's the flower buds. Broccoli is made of tightly packed, undeveloped flower buds. What two ingredients are used to make traditional butter? The answer is cream and agitation. Butter forms when cream is churned and fat separates from liquid. What gives chili peppers their heat? Capsaicin stimulates pain receptors in your mouth, creating the sensation of heat. Why does pineapple stop gelatin from setting? Bromelain is an enzyme that breaks down proteins, preventing gelatin from solidifying. What grain is used to make traditional pasta? Durum wheat. It has high gluten content, which gives pasta its firm texture. Why does dough become stretchy when kneaded? Kneading aligns gluten proteins, creating elasticity. Which planet spins the fastest? Jupiter completes a rotation in about 10 hours, despite its massive size. Which country drinks the most coffee per capita? Finland consistently ranks as the world's top consumer of coffee per capita, with residents consuming roughly 12 kilograms, 25.6 pounds, per year, or about 4 to 5 cups daily. Which country first used paper money? China was the first country to use paper money, with its origins dating back to the 7th century Tang dynasty. You've answered 20 questions so far. How many did you get right? Drop your score in the comments. Don't lie, we can tell. Let's see if you survived the second half. Which country invented pizza as we know it today? Modern pizza originated in Naples in the 18th century. Chocolate originally came from which continent? The cacao tree was first cultivated by ancient Mesoamerican civilizations. What drink was originally green before processing made it black? To be specific, black tea. All tea comes from the same plant. Oxidation turns it darker. Which fruit floats in water because it's 25% air? That's why apple bobbing works. What common food was once used as currency? In ancient times, salt was so valuable it was traded like money. The sandwich is named after which title? It's named after the Earl of Sandwich. He supposedly requested meat between bread so he could eat it while gambling without getting his hands greasy. What was the first fast food chain in the US? White Castle, founded in 1921, it standardized fast food production. Which civilization first cultivated coffee? Coffee beans were first discovered in the Ethiopian highlands. What vegetable was originally purple before selective breeding? Orange carrots were developed in the Netherlands. What substance do bees actually store in the hive? They store honey, made from nectar. Bees convert nectar into honey through regurgitation and evaporation. Why do onions make you cry? Cutting onions releases chemicals that irritate your eyes. Why does metal feel colder than wood at the same temperature? Metal pulls heat from your hand more quickly. Why does ice float in water? It's less dense than liquid water. Why does soda fizz when opened? Pressure is released, allowing dissolved gas to form bubbles. Why does popcorn pop? Pressure builds until the shell explodes. What causes bread to brown in the oven? Heat causes sugars and proteins to react and form new flavors. Which metal is most abundant in Earth's crust? Aluminum is the most abundant metal found in the Earth's crust, making up approximately 8.1% of the total crustal mass. Why does sugar dissolve in water? Water molecules pull sugar molecules apart. It breaks into individual particles. Why do eggs turn solid when cooked? Heat changes protein structure permanently. Which planet has the longest day? Venus rotates extremely slowly, making one day longer than its year. You've survived 40 questions. Now be honest. What's your score out of 40? Comment it before we continue. Because these last 20, they're the ones people think they know. Let's see if you crumble under pressure. The Great Wall of China was built to keep out which group? The Mongols. It was mainly for defense against northern invasions. Which empire built roads that still influence modern systems? Roman road networks were highly advanced. The Olympic Games originated in which country? Greece. Ancient Olympics were held in Olympia. Which organ can regenerate itself? The liver can regrow even after significant portions are removed. Which country invented chess? Chess originated from the Indian game Chaturanga. Is a tomato a fruit or vegetable? It's a fruit. It develops from a flower and contains seeds. What nut is not actually a nut? A peanut. It's a legume. What food never spoils? Its low moisture prevents bacterial growth. What is the white string in an egg called? Chalaza. It anchors the yolk in place. What grain is used to make couscous? Couscous is made from durum wheat semolina. It is technically a type of pasta, created by moistening and rolling semolina particles into tiny, delicate grains, which are then coated with flour. What part of the body continues growing throughout life? The ears and nose, cartilage changes. They appear to grow due to cartilage changes and gravity. What causes hiccups? Sudden contractions cause the hic sound. What color is a polar bear's skin? Polar bears have black skin beneath their fur, which helps them absorb heat from the sun to stay warm in the Arctic. Despite their white appearance, their fur is actually transparent and hollow, reflecting light to blend in with the ice. Why do mirrors reverse left and right but not up and down? Your brain interprets the flip as left-right reversal. In Black Panther, what is the name of the fictional African country? It's portrayed as technologically advanced and hidden. Who was the leader of Nazi Germany during World War II? He ruled from 1933 to 1945. What is the name of the tiny plastic or metal tip at the end of a shoelace? The aglet prevents the lace from fraying and makes it easier to thread through eyelets. What is the scientific name for the fear of long words? Ironically, the word itself is extremely long, which makes the name humorous. What is the name of the indentation on the bottom of a wine bottle? It strengthens the bottle structure and helps collect sediment in older wines. What is the name of the gap between your eyebrows? The glabella is the smooth area of the forehead between the eyebrows. That's all 60 questions. Be honest. What did you score? Drop it in your rank in the comments, and don't lie. If you think that was easy, try the next quiz on your screen. Let's see if you can beat your own score.